There is no such thing as a perfect schedule, but there is such a thing as a CEO schedule of excellence, where you've putting in the work towards getting the life that you desire, and you are the CEO of that schedule. Today we're discussing 4 ingredients for that CEO schedule of excellence. Let's realize that there's 2 different CEO schedules, 2 types. One is where you're actually running your own company and you get to choose your own schedule, which is pretty nice, but you still got to put in the work in order for you to get the results so you can eventually replace yourself in your business when you want to do that. And then you've got the second CEO schedule if you're unemployed or working 2 or 3 jobs with employers and they basically hire you in exchange for time and money, right? This is also a CEO schedule. You have to create a powerful schedule that you decide on your own to make that work for you so that you can build your business on the side and create more freedom for yourself. We're discussing now the CEO schedule of actually both. So no matter if you're working for yourself or you're working for an employer, this is going to be relevant for you. Here are the 4 ingredients. Number 1, you think is the morning routine, but it's actually the evening routine. Your day starts the day before, and most people do not get this one right. If you want to get a CEO schedule of excellence, you have to prepare the day before. It's not about the willingness to win. It's about the willingness to prepare to win that happens the day before. This is how you're going to eventually achieve all of your goals, is if you prepare the day before for the next day, and then you review what you planned the day before in the morning, and then you actually perform what you planned throughout the day, and then in the evening you review what happened and you plan for a better day the next day. That's how you do it. The evening routine, it's how you start and how you finish. That's the most important part of your day. If you don't have this set up the right way, you're never going to build up a CEO schedule of excellence. Evening routine needs to have these ingredients. Number 1, a specific minute that your pillow hits your head. Okay, it's actually the other way around. When your head hits the pillow. That needs to be set in stone, that minute. I'm not talking about, I go to bed around 10:30, 11. No. You set a specific minute. At that minute, for sure, I will have put my head to the pillow in order for me to sleep. Whether you actually fall asleep or not doesn't matter at that point in time, because you need to build a routine and a habit over time. If you haven't checked out the sleep routine video that one of my clients made a while back, I put it on the channel. It's the only video on my entire channel that has someone else presenting at this point in time. In the future, we're going to have more and more. But for now, you can check that video out if you want better sleep, etc. But for now, evening routine, that specific minute needs to be chosen in advance. The hours preceding midnight, if you go to sleep hours before midnight, those hours will produce more health and more energy for you than all the other hours after midnight. Okay, so the hours before midnight are worth more than the hours after midnight when it comes to restitution, when it comes to giving you more energy. What does that tell you? You should go early to bed and then early to rise. This is the most important part of a CEO schedule of excellence. So you've got to fix this first. Your sleep is alpha omega. This is what's going to help you to make the 80-hour work week sustainable for you in the long run. If you don't have a proper sleep schedule, everything will get screwed up very quickly, and your discipline levels, your capacity for making wise decisions will slowly but surely burn out, and you won't be able to consistently sustain what needs to be sustained, your schedule. So, the evening routine, will you plan? It could be 15 minutes, it could be half an hour. You need to plan the next day and look at what's going to happen and plan it out so that logistically it makes sense. especially the morning hours and the evening hours, so that you never screw up your sleep schedule. It needs to be sustainable and the same every day. And this is why I highly recommend against night shift jobs, because they will screw over all of your circadian rhythms and your sleep schedule in general. Just simply don't do it. That was number one, the evening routine. If you want to include some journaling in there, if you want to do something else in the evenings, go ahead, okay? But it's not that big a deal. The most important part is that you actually have some time before sleep, and then that 1 minute, you're in bed, ready to sleep and ready to go. 8 hours later, you wake up at again a specific minute. That specific minute needs to have been chosen, and it needs to be the same minute, right? Same minute in the evening, and then you have the same minute in the morning, again and again and again and again. This is the thing that needs to be consistent in your life, and preferably for months at a time. You don't change that routine. You don't go out on the weekends and mess this one up. This sticks until you're completely financially free. Do it right and do it once, and you will become free, because you're doing things that other people are not willing to do. So you could go to bed at 8 if you don't have a job at that time, right? And wake up at 4. Man, do you know the power that comes behind that? Now, if you have an evening job that goes to 9 o'clock, you can't do that, obviously, right? But if you go to bed at 9, you wake up at 5. If you go to bed at 10, you wake up at 6. Do what other people are not willing to do, and you'll later live like others can't, right? So, the morning routine, what do? I wake up and I set aside a full hour to just simply wake up, right? Go to the bathroom, drink water, maybe have a little bit of a breakfast or a snack of some sort, and journal. This is what I do. I just write out my gratitude, the list of things that I wanted to get done that day. I review the plans that I made the day before. And I also go through my dreams and goals of what I want to accomplish. This is a great time for affirmations. And if you do meditation, great for you, okay? I don't personally do, or I would say my personal meditation practice is journaling. Notebook, pen, okay? Write things down. A full hour of doing that, and you're going to be positive the entire day, right? This is, again, very few people that do this. I spend an hour. This morning I spent an hour and a half. At 6:30, I was ready to go and doing my work. But I woke up at 5, okay? So things take time. Sometimes you have to do that in order to get your brain ready to go, right? And then sometimes you shouldn't overdo it and maybe only take 15 minutes or 30 minutes, etc., okay? So if you understand that part, those are the two massively critical ingredients, and I've now shared them with you. If you want a consistent schedule and create a CEO schedule that you can sustainably follow for an extended period of time, those two are crucial. The next two is, simply put, 11 and a half hour workday times 7, okay? So you do it for 80-hour work week. If you want to keep the Sabbath day holy, okay, some of you are religious, whatever, great. Then you have to simply do it 13 hours times 6, right? You'll get approximately the same result if you do that 6 days a week. But let's do 11 and a half hours. You do the exact same thing and routine every single day. Nothing changes. And what you're going to do with those 11 and a half hours, you're going to chop them up into 3 or 4 work blocks. Each of those work blocks might be different, might be the same. This, I'm talking about now 11 and a half hours of work and putting in what needs to get done throughout the day. So 3 to 4 blocks. What are you going to have in between? You're going to have 15-minute breaks, maybe 20-minute breaks, maybe 30-minute breaks. It depends on you and what you want to fit into that schedule. But you need breaks in between those 3 to 4 blocks in order for you to sustainably be able to have the energy to finish those 2.5 to 3 hour blocks that are needed to get done. Right? Or 4 hours might be that much as well. So once you, that's it. That's one of the ingredients. 11 and a half hours of work, okay? The last ingredient, this one is kind of the thing that changed my work ethic completely and helped me to do what needs to get done properly and sustainably. And that for me has been basketball. And you can put /exercise there because I use the same time to actually exercise and do calisthenics. So this was something that I discovered was it a year ago? 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I remember figuring out that, man, I was wrong about exercise. You should actually exercise every single day. And I look back at my entire 15-year career. In 2016 was my most successful year. I managed to quit my full-time job at that point in time. My businesses were doing pretty great. And I discovered that I did one thing that year that I hadn't done all the other years pretty much. And that was the fact that I had actually played basketball. In fact, I had started a basketball team. Okay, so amidst a wife, 3 kids, okay, move into a new house, and a full-time job, and 2 businesses. Actually, it was 3 because a lot of things going on at the same time during that time frame. And I choose to start a basketball team because it didn't exist in my local area. That year was my most successful year. Interesting. Was that because I had, some time away from work where I could disconnect? I think it was personally because I did something that I was passionate about, which is to play basketball. You might have that thing in your life that allows you to disconnect from anything work related and help you to it's almost like therapy for you in order for you to go back to work and actually produce and create more. For me, that has become basketball and exercise. You need to find your thing. Maybe it's exercise, maybe it's martial arts, maybe it's whatever it is that you find that you love. Set aside at least an hour for that every day as part of your 4.5 hours. You got 4.5 hours, 16 hours that is awake, right? 11.5 hours for work, 4.5 hours for other things like this that I'm talking about here, like journaling in the morning and also planning in the evening, but also friends and family, etc. This is what that time is for. So that you get rejuvenated to actually go back to work tomorrow, but because you're looking forward to also do that thing that disconnects you from it. I highly recommend that this is not women, that this is not prawn, that this is not an addiction, that this is not something that disconnects you in that way, because that's going to put you in a negative spiral of depression that's going to ruin you eventually. And no, it's not going to keep your 80-hour work week sustainable. You need to have something that is wholesome, that helps you to focus and do what needs to get done on a daily basis that you look forward to. I look forward to my exercise every single day and to play basketball the next day because I got some goals when it comes to that as well. Okay, so if you look at the 4 ingredients, it's the evening routine, the morning routine, the work, okay, divided up into different segments of blocks, right? So that you don't work throughout the day. You have to have some breaks in between. And number 4, putting in something that you just love to do as part of that schedule. If you're doing 3 jobs, maybe it's your business. Maybe it's your business that you love to do. And that disconnects you from the hard labor of working for someone else. Maybe that's what it is for you at this current space of time, right? For me, at this time, when I've got some more freedom, I've chosen basketball as my thing, and it's super speeding my business more than anything else now that I've got goals in that department as well. So, hope this video helped. If you have any questions, make sure you comment down below. And please feel free to DM me on Instagram at Men of High Value or on Telegram. I'm there. Just tell me that you saw this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one.